Hello and welcome, this is Rooflemonger, and in this video, friends, I just want to talk about EX moves in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Obviously, with the Season 3 patch, making EX moves cost half as much, they naturally are going to start becoming more prevalent, and I guess that is what I want to talk about because I still don't see people using EX moves all that much just yet. So hey, let's talk about it. So why is the EX change a big deal other than the fact it just costs less, right? Because that part is self-evident enough to be sure. Well, it changes your incentive to do certain things. Because for an EX bar costing a full bar, the incentive was out of whack because a full bar gets you like a vanish to extend the combo or to keep it your turn on block. It lets you turn any old combo into, you know, the big touch of death or, you know, just the big final moment here. Like, oh, I got my move here. Great, Super 1, 1 bar, Super 2, 2 bars, Super 3, 3rd bar, right? And the supers themselves is such a big deal at the end of a combo because all supers have minimum scaling. So there's a set amount of damage a super can do and it can't do any less than that. Usually it's about 800-ish, sometimes a bit more in the case of characters like Tien, and in the case of characters like Teen Gohan, it's actually a fair bit more than that. But yeah, it's just extra reach. It gives you just that further grasp to help finish the enemy off. So why on the earth would you ever want to spend a bar on like something like Tien's EX command grab when he has the shotgun, right? But now, thanks to it costing less, it becomes just a little bit more viable yet. With all that said, that is actually the reason I have the exact 3 characters I have right now, right? Because for 2 of these 3, the Gohans in particular, the EX, the full bar, was already worth the price of admission because that's how good it was, right? The EX legs let you get a full combo in and of itself. If it hits, it's advantage on block. For someone like Teen Gohan, it gets rid of the gap because normally if you go like light, machine gun, medium legs, you can get reflected versus light, EX legs, that's a true block stun, right? And for someone like Gohan, the higher your potential level, you can just like really go across the screen. And like, what is neutral? You don't have to play neutral anymore. EX Legs does it for you, right? And it'll just catch anything across screen. So they got nerfed a little tiny bit, but with the reduction, they're more worth it than ever in my opinion because they're just, these moves are awesome, right? You want to use these moves. And then comes someone like Tien. Tien had a lot of EX moves, and none of them were ever really worth using because once again, every EX move you do is one less tri-beam, one less shotgun, right? And with the reduction of the cost, it is now like turbocharged his incentive to want to do EX because he always had EXs that were kind of borderline, but now they're super worth doing and super worth keeping in mind. Like for Tien, 3 examples to show off here, and this is why they're so much more useful. Like, hey, he has the command grab, which is an EX only move. He doesn't have it normally available to him other than the EX, right? And having a command grab, especially in Season 3 with how a lot of the changes work, is a very valuable thing to have. Now, is it the best in class? Certainly not. But it's an easy 18% here, 1800 damage. And if you want to tack on level 1 at the end of it, hey, that's an easy 30% right there. So that is 30% of your life gone for not reacting for this in time. And why would you react to it? Because it's not really something you can expect from someone who's not really a grappler. So his command grab, being half bar, hey, that's a lot more valuable just to toss out, right? Now something like the EX knee. So all of his knees are overheads, right? And that's all well and good. But the EX knee has a ground bounce. So you can like do this, call an assist, follow up, and then kind of just go from there, right? That's a lot of extra reach and a lot of extra potential, but being a full bar, maybe not worth the risk by itself, but being half bar, infinitely more valuable. And coming along to one of the bigger ones here, so he has the volleyball fist attack, right? So normally something like this here, using both EXs, would cost you 2 bars. Straight up 2 bars, and that was never worth it. It was cool to look at, because you can combo after it too, right? So you can get a full combo. Certainly cool to look at, but it was never worth 2 bars. But now, it's just a half bar, so now it's just 1 bar, and 1 bar is a lot more reasonable to be sure. So we could be in the corner now, right? And keep in mind, once again here, it's only 1 bar now, versus the 2 it was before. And then, hey, we can do something like that, right? Or conversely, even better yet, in case you somehow were not aware, you can just regular combo from the first hit. So you only have to spend half a bar. And then, and you got to delay it a little bit there. But you can only spend half a bar and combo out from there, anywhere on the screen. Of course, obviously, been in the corner as well. But yeah, so it turns the random volleyball fist into a much bigger threat because you're a lot more incentivized to burn that bar. Once again, this is a character, like we had the Gohans who already were going to burn the bar anyways, so whatever. It was already good back then. But someone like Tien has so many viable EX moves that everyone was dissuaded from because, hey, who wants to burn a bar, right? But now with it just being half a bar, it's just so much more applicable and so much more worthwhile to try out. And hopefully I've made my point on the matter, but yeah, I just think it's really cool and helps diversify gameplay, and that's always good. Now, there are a lot of obvious examples I could go through. I just want to go through a couple more. Like, you know, Yamcha spamming EX Wolfang Fist, you know, that's obviously a thing. But hey, let's talk about some less obvious ones, and one here is old Napa. So the EX Saiba, you can program to do whatever you want, right? So he can spit multiple times. He can do the jumping leap claw multiple times. You can program to do whatever you want, right? You can do up to 4 things before he'll finally just kind of go and explode, as you can see here. And that is kind of super valuable, right? There's all sorts of pressure you can do with it. Not the least of which is just, you know, planting them and just going for spit many times, right? Spit, certainly the most valuable thing Cyberman can do, and he can do it 4 times. So besides, you know, Oki stuff, combo stuff, it is not even out of the realm now to, like, do a plant mid-screen, you know, maybe call an assist to cover it or during a block string or whatever, to really get that pressure going, because, you know, this is like calling multiple assists at once, right? And it's free pressure, and it's really cool. So Napa, I think, benefits from this change greatly. Also, someone who, in my opinion, benefits greatly is Cooler. So Cooler, if you're not aware how the EX dive kick works, it's a pretty cool tool here. First up, it's in 24 frames. So that is the same as the universal overhead, in case you're wondering. And also, it's an overhead, right? Like, you gotta block it standing. It's not a low. You definitely have to block this one standing, so it helps his overhead low games, because you can produce 3 different lows. So you're always wondering, should I be blocking high or should I be blocking low? And also, it really helps his super game, as it's the only move he has where you can get an aerial super or grounded super and you choose. If you wait a split second, then you can do the grounded super, which does a lot more damage than usual. Cooler is one of those characters. Or if you do it right away, you can do an aerial super. And his level 3 has to be aerial, otherwise it's a counter on the ground, right? So it lets you be modular, and hey, not the least of which is the fact it's plus on block. So if it gets blocked, whatever, it's still your turn. It's just like a vanish, right? So it offers a lot, and once again, costing half a bar now versus a full bar, the incentive to use it is a lot higher. Another person who benefits a lot, in my opinion, is Jiren, thanks to the EX counter. So the EX counter was always a very good move, right? But now, once again, because it costs half as much, the incentive to use it is a lot higher, and this move is really good. So it activates on frame 1. As in the first frame you do it. So there's no way to counter hit it or anything. It gets highs, it gets mids, it gets lows, it gets everything. So if you think there's even a 1 frame gap and something is going to happen, you can toss this bad boy out and you will catch it. And in and of itself, it does 25% damage. 2,500, that's not nothing. And say this followed by a mere uppercut super, that's 40% almost right there. Characters have 10,000 health, in case you didn't know. So that's 40% just right there. For a bar and a half of just, like, you could literally be matching it in a block string, to be honest with you, right? So that's not nothing. So something like this, and once again, the damage by itself is quite good as well. It's just really, really good. So this is another big one, I think, that's going to hopefully, you know, if people start picking Jiren more, see a lot more play. And there you have it. So once again, there's so many good changes about Season 3, but I think this is also one of the better ones, as a lot of the cases for a lot of the characters, EX just wasn't worth the bar, right? Some characters, like, you know, the Gohans, Kid Goku, they liked using EX moves because they had really good ones, but most people, you look at it, huh, neat, I guess, and then you forget about it because you're not going to burn it when you can save it for vanishes, or you can save it for a super, right? So I'm very happy to see that, you know, cost cut as it stands, and I'm very hopeful to see a lot more people using a lot more EX moves in the future. And hey, I guess that's all I got to say about it right now. So anyways, my friends, thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Dragon Ball.